The young and the restless spoilers. Victoria isn't backing down. Victor came to yell at her about supporting Billy going after Adam. Mark Grossman. Nikki came to yell at her about supporting Billy going after Adam. Chelsea came to yell at her about supporting Billy over Adam. Even Phyllis had an opinion about it. But this is a new Victoria. This is a Victoria who doesn't let her family define her, or tell her what to do. This is a proactive Victoria, not a reactive one. And you won't believe what she does next. Phyllis just found out she has a big tax bill to pay. Clearly, she never learned that only the little people pay taxes. Or, rather, maybe she never learned that she is one of the little people. Phyllis doesn't have the money, since she just bought out Abby. So she tried to interest Victoria in a business proposition, stressing, several times, that Vicky would need to pay in advance. That bit didn't fly, so now she has another idea. Because Phyllis doesn't give up. Even when she should. Nikki in the middle. Nikki has done her best to be supportive as Victor insists on supporting Adam at the expense of every other member of his family. Adam doesn't appreciate his stepmother's efforts. In fact, Adam seems to be going out of his way to act in a way bound to put Victor and Nikki on different sides of the fence. Chelsea rushed into Chance Com and berated Billy about the article. She told him how it had hurt her family and Connor in particular. Billy reminded her of the listening device she'd planted behind the lamp. Chelsea claimed she didn't know anything about it. Billy said he was shocked that Chelsea wasn't upset about the lives Adam had destroyed. Billy claimed Chelsea was angry because Adam's actions had been publicized. Chelsea demanded that Billy retract the article, but Billy told her that once it was on the internet, there was no turning back. Chelsea accused Billy of having an unhealthy focus on vengeance. She said he'd put the entire company in jeopardy, and he was being reckless. Billy told Chelsea that being reckless was his thing. Chelsea claimed that Victor and Adam would destroy him, but Billy asked if she'd heard that Adam and Victor's lawsuit had been dismissed. Billy asked if Chelsea believed that Adam would fight as hard for her as she was fighting for Adam, and he added that Adam was a monster. Chelsea accused Billy of being a hypocrite. She said that Adam had changed, but Billy wouldn't give Adam a chance because he kept dredging up Adam's past. Billy said that Chelsea the con artist had been conned. Chelsea told Billy that Adam had changed, and together, they had built a stable family for Connor. However, because of Billy's article, they'd had to put Connor into boarding school to keep him safe. Billy said that Connor was a great kid, and Chelsea should have kept him away from Adam. Upset, Chelsea stated that Connor would eventually read about Adam. Billy said Connor needed to know about Adam, because Connor's father only cared about himself. Chelsea stated that Delia's death had motivated Billy to publish that story. She stated that had she known how vicious he and Victoria would become, she wouldn't have allowed them to adopt Johnny. She stormed out. Lily entered the office and asked Billy if that had been Chelsea she'd bumped into at the elevator. Billy said it had been. At that moment, the lights went out. Lily and Billy had their flashlights on, and Billy was on his hands and knees. Lily asked what he was doing. Billy told her about Chelsea planting the listening device the last time she'd been in the office. He asked Lily to search for any bugs Chelsea might have planted, and he described what to look for. In the meantime, when the power failed, Chelsea became stuck in the elevator and had no phone reception. She yelled for help, but no one responded. She looked for a way out and thought she could get out through a panel in the ceiling. She stood on the handrails and tried to pry off the panel, but she lost her balance, fell, and landed unconscious on the elevator floor. Billy told Lily he was certain that Adam had turned off the lights. He said Adam probably figured that with the lights off, Billy and Lily would go home, and Adam would be free to enter the office and try to kill the story. Billy said he was one step ahead of Adam. He was going to stay in the office all night if he needed to. Lily asked if a second exposé would put that much fear into Adam. Billy said he had a 10-pound bag of information in a safe location. Billy said he was happy with the way Lily had handled the situation, in spite the outside pressure. Lily told Billy that Nikki had confronted her prior to the release of the story and had said that Neil would be terribly disappointed in her. Lily said she'd told Nikki not to bring Neil's name into the conversation and that Nikki didn't scare her. Billy said that people always tried to manipulate others by bringing up the names of loved ones they'd lost, but he and Lily needed to ignore it. He said that Neil would have been very proud of Lily. Chance arrived at the penthouse, and he asked Adam how things were going. Adam said all was well and that they had sent Connor to boarding school to keep him safe. Chance had thought Adam had planned to stop Billy from publishing the story. Adam said he'd tried, but their lawsuit had been dismissed. Chance said he'd spoken briefly to Paul, and he'd admitted to Paul that he'd been the agent in the story. Chance said the job offer was up in the air. He told Adam that he wanted the job, and he couldn't be involved in Adam's plans. Adam promised to have Chance's back, the same way he had in Vegas. At that moment, Chance received a text message from Paul that Paul wanted to meet with him. Before leaving, Chance wished Adam good luck. Adam wished the same for Chance, but Adam stated that he made his own luck. After Chance left, Adam made a call and told them it was time to get into position. Adam was told that Billy was in a meeting with someone, but Adam said he didn't care who Billy was meeting with. He instructed the person to let him know when they were in position, and Adam would give the signal. A short time later, Adam received a text message from his accomplice that they were in position. Adam told them to go ahead, and Adam rushed out the door. At Society, Abby hoped that Mariah would relax, since Sharon's surgery was over. Mariah said that it appeared they'd gotten all the cancer that time, but Sharon still had to go through radiation therapy. Abby told Mariah that Ashley had gone through cancer treatment, and she'd always been tired. Abby and Mariah were concerned about Faith because she was hiding her emotions and because the other kids had been giving her a hard time over the article. Mariah said Faith was struggling and needed love. Abby wanted in on that and suggested a girls' night out for the three of them. Mariah agreed. Mariah received a call from Sharon informing her that Ray was driving Faith to Crimson Lights. Mariah told Abby she had to leave and invited Abby to join her, but Abby said she was worried about Chance. Paul had read the article and knew that Chance had been the agent referred to in that article. Mariah asked if Paul would rescind his job offer, but Abby had no idea. She said that if Chance didn't get the job, she didn't think Chance would stay in Genoa City, looking for another opportunity. Mariah reminded Abby about the conversation she and Chance had had about the future. Abby said that the conversation about the future had been hypothetical. Mariah told her not to talk herself out of a future with Chance, and Mariah left. Sharon arrived home from the hospital after her surgery and was in obvious pain. Faith entered the room and asked if Sharon would like a cup of tea. When Sharon said she would love one, Faith practically ran into the kitchen. Sharon commented to Ray that it seemed as if Faith had been trying to get away from her. Ray said that Faith loved her, and it was hard for kids to see their parents in pain. He said that Faith seemed to be okay and that she'd reached out to her friends. Faith had also given him the thumbs up when he'd told her he would be moving back in. He said that Sharon needed time alone with Faith, and he left. When Faith returned with Sharon's tea, Sharon asked Faith if anyone had brought up the article to her. Faith admitted that a few kids had mentioned it, but she knew it would blow over. Sharon told Faith to stop fretting about her. She wanted Faith to be a normal teenager. She told Faith to go out and have fun. Faith told Sharon that Mariah had invited Faith to the coffee house to spend some time with her. Sharon encouraged her to go. A short time later, Nick arrived at Sharon's, and she told him that Faith was with Mariah. Nick expressed his concern about Faith. He said she was a perfectionist and didn't want to let her parents down. He was upset that the article about Adam had made reference to Faith's kidnapping, and he asked Sharon not to take Adam's side. Sharon said she blamed Billy. Nick admitted he'd known that the article would be published, and he should have stopped it. He said that Chelsea hadn't asked for his help, but he'd previously warned her that Adam wasn't a good role model for Connor. Sharon told Nick that Adam loved that little boy and that Adam and Chelsea would bring Connor up well, just as she and Nick had brought up Faith. Nick claimed that neither he nor Sharon was a psychopath. He said it was hard bringing up kids. Faith was strong and mature for her age, and they both agreed that Faith had been through a lot. Sharon informed Nick that Ray was moving back in with her, and Nick was happy. He said they would make sure that Faith got all the help she needed, and he left. Adam arrived the Grand Phoenix and entered Billy's suite. He began searching for something, but after checking dresser drawers, night tables, and the cupboard, it appeared the search was fruitless. Chance arrived at Society. Surprised, Abby stated that the meeting had to have been very short. Chance explained that Paul had been called away on an emergency, and he was certain that Paul would reach out to him later. He said Paul needed to know he could trust the people who worked for him, and Chance had neglected to tell Paul about Vegas. Abby stated that, unlike Adam, Chance had integrity. She asked Chance to denounce Adam, but Chance claimed he couldn't do that because Adam had saved his life. Abby claimed that Chance had repaid Adam many times over for that. She reminded him that Adam would cause more unrest. She said Adam was her brother, but she begged Chance to cut ties with him because he was a magnet for trouble. Chance said that if Adam was a magnet for trouble, that was all the more reason to stick close and keep Adam on the straight and narrow. Abby said Adam wasn't worth it, and he might have cost Chance his job with the police department. Abby asked what Chance would do if that was the case. Chance didn't know because he'd already sold his security business. He said he would have to move at least 200 miles away from Genoa City because of a non-compete clause. He said he could go back to DC, where he had contacts, or Sacramento, but that wasn't going to happen because Abby was in Genoa City, and it wasn't worth leaving. Abby suggested they have another talk to see if they were on the same page, but Chance told her he'd fallen in love with her.